Welcome to our podcast, Može Kafa. We are Ivana
and Maki,
your host. In this podcast, we discuss interesting details about Serbian language and culture from a learner's and teacher's perspective.
We offer new and fun resources for learners of Serbian. To follow each episode with annotated script, vocabulary, and quizzes, join us also at Može Kafa Podcast on Instagram. So if you're ready, grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the podcast.
Hi everyone, pozdrav od Maki and Ivane, or Ivane. We are laughing so hard because we don't really know how to start a podcast. We're all learning, and I'm today's host, so bear with me. I want to mention that in the last episode on the importance of coffee in Serbia, we made a slight mistake and we had to re-record one audio. So if you see some kind of inconsistencies in the audio, that's the reason for that. But I hope you will enjoy it. It was such a fun talk. We laughed so much during the episode, so I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Exactly, for me too. That's why we didn't renew it. We just wanted to save that one because it was really good.
Exactly. So today we're going to talk about a topic that I think everyone's interested in if you are learning Serbian. If you're a native speaker of Serbian, then you probably know these phrases. But we're going to talk about small talk or chit-chat, as you call it in Serbian. And I think for me, it's kind of spontaneous and, I know what to say. I don't really think about it. But for learners, for example, for you, Maki, you do maybe have some questions about some
Actually,
topics.
The first question is, do you have a word like equivalent of small talk in Serbian? Do you just say greetings?
Oh,
hard question. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I know it, but now I blanked. So you would say razgovor for like a conversation, right? Oh my God. All these Serbs are going to kill me. I don't know. Now I don't know.
No.
I will let you know somewhere on some of our social media, what the answer is, but I don't know now.
Okay, no problem. And when we learn, we will share it on our Instagram as well for others.
Exactly. So, what have you learned so far?
So the first word, I guess, 2 words that I learned were kako si.
Yes, very, very important. Basically means how are you?
Yes.
But this is for one person. If that person is like your friend or someone who you're talking to informally, do you know how you would say if it would be formal?
Yes, actually, they used the formal version to me first because I was in a hotel and the hotel workers, kako ste vi? And I was replying, dobro sam, kako ste vi?
Oh, that's really good. So just for you to know, we use second person plural for you as in plural, but also as for formal situations. I would say we use it out of respect, of course. So for older people as well, for some like status wise, but also if you're a guest, you're always going to be kako ste, right? Vi.
Yes.
That I always say. Yes.
But my problem was how to answer that. We will talk about it in detail, but the only word that I say, still I learned a couple of them, but still dobro sam is like automatic now. I can't even say something else.
Yeah. Okay, what can you say? So if you want to say you're good, so you can say dobro sam, or you can actually just say dobro. You don't have to say. We love shortening things, sentences.
How about not bad?
Nije loše.
Nije loše.
Loše is bad, so not is nije, which is basically it is not bad. And then if you want to say like bad, I'm not good, I'm bad, loše.
And can I say loše sam?
Yeah, of course you can say it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. You can say, one of the things that I always use is for like I'm great, super, which is like a word that everyone uses in every language. So you can just say super, or odlično. I love that one.
Yes, I heard that one and I really liked it, but I always say it sometimes, not always, but sometimes I say it wrong. Like Odlično is the normal version, but I say oblično sometimes.
Ah.
Odlična. So I drive it. So that's why I like it, but I can't use it as much as I want.
No, so here you don't, for some reason, you don't really use like, think of if you're a female or a male person. So dobro, odlično, everything ends in O, basically, right? There's one word that I used to use when I was younger. I'm sure that it's not cool anymore, which was extra.
What?
Isn't that weird?
It is.
You know, I didn't know that extra in like other languages is like additional. You know, for us it was like, oh, amazing, like even more than super. It was like extra,
like extra super.
Extra super, yeah, basically, which is probably you're not going to hear it right now. I'm sure they have some other way of expressing that they feel great, but extra is it's a very colloquial way to say it, so just be aware of it, but it's what it means, but don't use it. Odlično is great.
Okay, great.
Good.
So these are the things I have learned, but I have a question for you.
Shoot.
The most common small talk topics, what are they? Like, are they about family, job, or free time activities, or weather?
I would say what you first ask is usually, well, how are you? Basically, what's the situation with you? So it depends on who you are. If you have a family, then I'm guessing that they're going to ask how's your family? How's at work? You know, I don't think, but I'm thinking of something else. So yeah, like health, the status of your family, and how you are overall. So you can go deeper into like what you're planning for your vacation or some things like that. We wouldn't start talking about like politics or anything like that. So that's avoid that topic completely. But yeah.
Okay, because in Turkey you have to like ask if that person is married, about their spouse for sure, and their kids if they have. It's like a must.
That's why I'm saying it depends on who you are. If you're a single person, for example, if I was single and, well, officially kind of I am because I'm not married, but and I'm studying, so they would, if they know who I am, they know, okay, how's your studies? How are you doing? How's in Germany? You know, so I hope they know about your situation, so know what to ask. Yeah, they would never ask you about like. So like no topics are politics and like money. That's something you don't talk about.
Of course.
Yeah. So I think one of the things I would use is again kako, which means how, right? Of course you can ask kako si, and then afterwards you ask if you want, for example, give me a topic. What can I ask?
How is your family?
You would say kako su tvoj, which means how are yours?
Ah, shortcut. I like it.
Yeah. It's like how yours, you know who yours is. You know, if you're not married, then it's your family, like your mother, father, brother, whatever. If you're married, how's your partner? How are your kids? You know, kako su tvoj.
Kako su tvoj. I like it. Yeah. And how about job? How is it going at your job? Are you busy these days? Kind of.
You can ask, kako je na poslu? How is it at work?
Kako je na poslu?
Or, kako je posao? Actually, now I remembered, sometimes we completely omit the auxiliary, je, or the auxiliary is. So you can just ask, kako posao?
Ah, kako posao? Okay.
Kako posao? Kako studije?
Kako tvoj? No.
Yeah, you can. Let me reenact in my mind. Kako tvoj? Yes, you can.
Wow, even shorter. Good for me.
Yes. I mean, everyone's going to understand, and as I told you, we like shortening things, so I think that would be good. What else do they ask? Do you have any other question regarding the beginning?
I'm curious about if they have any weird questions. For example, I heard like in some cultures they ask, what are you cooking? Or, you know, are you tired? Kind of questions. Like it doesn't mean are you tired, but it's just a greeting. But that is the way. I mean, is there any weird greeting or small talk starter that we
because
have?
I'm a native speaker, so I don't think anything's weird. But I guess you can always go into a bit more detail and ask, kako je zdravlje, or kako zdravlje, which is how's your health, or you can ask what's up, what's new, šta ima novo, and this is where you can say I got a raise, I moved, I got a kid, or like whatever. I lost some pounds. Yeah, whatever. But to be honest, unless you are a real talker, when it comes to like small talk, you don't reveal much. So it's kind of like catching up and like, let's stay here for like 30 seconds. And usually we just say, we're good. It's not that bad. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, good. And then you just continue, right? And then if you want to have like a conversation and talk a bit more about it, then you can do it, somewhere else. But this is just like a very superficial way of talking to someone, I'm guessing.
Okay, then let's do some role plays, shall we? So as you are better at asking questions and I have my answers ready in my mind, like the simple ones. So imagine we are two students at university, but we're not best friends.
Yes, I'm a student.
You just know me from a class, but you don't know me much. So we are coming together in some place and you ask me.
Okay, I first want to say that this will still be a very informal situation because you're my peer. So I'm not going to be like formally being like, oh, how are you? So, okay, I see you, and I could say, it's going to be like,
you would say ciao first, I guess, right?
Yes, I would usually add something like, ciao, which would kind of soften the conversation because it would sound spontaneous. If you just say ciao, it just kind of like sounds scripted. So we like to add these like filler words to, make it so, ciao. And what do you want me to ask you? Is there something
like just ask me, how are you? I would say ciao back to you.
Ciao, Maki. And you say
ciao, Ivana.
Kako si?
Dobro sam, hvala. A ti?
Good. And then you can ask a ti. And then I can say, nije loše. And then you can say, I'm studying a bit. I'm a bit tired, but it's okay. This is a typical thing for us. We like to complain. But
okay.
But then after that we say, al dobro, which is like, but it's okay. That's something I noticed a lot. So you can say, nije loše. Puno radim, puno učim, al dobro je. Which is like,
dobre.
I work a lot, I study a lot, but it's okay.
I see. Okay. How about when we are best friends, like old friends? Like how would you greet me if I was your like best?
Desi.
Okay. Actually, I was gonna say when you asked, but you learned until now. Desi, or in short, Desi.
Yes, I use Desi. I also pointed that out that in my area we say Disi sometimes. Like it's a very, very old way. Like old people would say that, but I would say Desi.
Before we continue with the show, here's a quick reminder. This podcast is free for everyone and supported by listeners like you. We hope that this podcast is useful and convenient to you. This is a labor of love for both of us. To help us continue creating useful content for everyone, we will appreciate your help. If you have the means, you can support us in different ways. You may just go to buymeacoffee.com/mozdekafa podcast and send us some cups of coffee. You may also become a member of our show on patreon.com/mozdekafapodcast and get extra benefits like bonus content, full transcripts of the show in Serbian, or even join us on the show. We rely on your support to help everyone more in learning Serbian language and culture. Thanks for joining us today, and now let's get back to our episode.
And then you can say, I haven't seen you in 100 years, which is nema te 100 godina.
Nema 100 godina.
Nema te 100 godina.
Nema
you are not. Te is you, yes.
Uh-huh.
And then you can say, not even a call, which is
Complain again, of course.
ni da se javiš.
Ni da se javiš. Okay.
Exactly. And then you can say something like, ciao, izvini, which is sorry. Bila sam zauzeta. I was occupied, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be a lot of...
Let me
sam.
try. Bila sam... What was it?
Zauzeta.
Zauzeta. Bila sam zauzeta.
Okay, if you're a guy, how do you say it then? Do you know?
Bio, yes.
Bio sam zauzet. Yes, this is the tricky part. That's why I don't want to go that deep into it, but it depends on your gender.
Yeah, but actually it's not that complicated, especially for bio and bila, because only two options you have. If you're a female, you will always use bila, and if you're talking about men, then you can say bio. So you have more complicated things than that, so that is not bad.
But zauzet is, I would maybe say, maybe that is a bit complicated, because you would think, okay, if there's O with bilo, right, then it would be zauzeto, but it's not, it's zauzet. So for guys, usually the adjectives end on
consonant.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. I remember umorna as well. Is it also tired or?
Umorna.
Yes.
Yes, umorna. How do you say? Oh, we see. How would you say for a guy?
Bio sam umorna. Umorno, of course. Umorn. No. Okay.
Umoran.
Okay.
Okay.
Umaran. Bio sam umaran.
Yes, yes. So this is one thing that we learned in Serbian. It's called nepostojano a, which means that sometimes a disappears. So we had umorna, but this is disappeared in between R and N, but it appeared again in the masculine form. So that's something interesting maybe for later, not for now.
Yes, for later, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's say it one more time as two old friends, okay?
Okay. Desimaki. Do you want to start?
Yeah, that's easier for me, so I want to start.
Okay, good.
Desi, Ivana.
Desimaki. Then, do you want to continue or should I continue?
You continue, complain.
Okay. Nisam te videla 100 godina. Šta ima?
Bila sam umorna.
Or you can say bila sam zauzeta.
Zauzeta, yes. Bila sam zauzeta.
Oh, another thing that you can say when I ask you šta ima, which is what's up, you can say ništa.
Ništa.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
It's kind of automatic, so even if there was quite a lot happening, you usually just say ništa or ništa posebno, nothing special. But you can say, oh, so much. Svašta.
Svašta. Okay.
Svašta, yeah. And then you say, bila sam. And then I can say, and then usually, actually, this is where we go into a bit deeper conversation. So I feel like it would be too much maybe for this episode. Yeah,
maybe after I say I'm tired, šta ima novo?
Radim, studiram, učim, treniram. So you can just start saying verbs basically in first person singular what you have been doing. So so you can say radim, I work, I was working basically, but you could just say it in the present. Radim, studiram, učim, which is learn or study. Or you can say uživam, I'm enjoying myself. Uživam.
That's good.
Exactly.
Uživam. Okay.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
So these are the role plays. One not so close, one very close. So kako si and desi are the basic differences as far as I see.
Yes, but if it would be a very formal situation, for example, you would see, I don't want to say very formal, but it can just be like a mom of your friend. You can just say, dobar dan, kako ste? And then they can say, oh, Ivana, kako si ti? And they can say, dobro. Kako, and then you can say the name of their daughter, or so daughter that's your friend, right? Kako Marina, and then
Okay.
lepo, lepo. Lepo it basically means beautiful. You can say lepo or dobro, radi, uči.
And how do you say she says hi?
Pozdravljate.
Pozdravljate.
Because greeting, like greeting someone is pozdraviti, right? Pozdraviti, so you can say pozdravljate. She is like saying hi.
Pozdravljate.
Or pozdravljate. Or you can say send my greetings to her, which would be pozdravite je.
Pozdravite je.
If it's a guy, pozdravite ga.
Pozdravite ga. I haven't heard this.
Which is shorter from njega.
Ah, yes, njega. Okay, now I understand why.
There you go.
All right.
And then we have the third part where you can say goodbye, right?
Yes.
Do you know some ways to say goodbye?
Yeah, zdravo, I guess, or ciao, you say. Yes. To say hi and goodbye, the same words, that's kind of good for learners because it's really easy. Ciao when you say hi, ciao when you say goodbye.
Yeah, I was thinking of I use both. I actually use both. So simple as that. You don't have to dwell on it too much. But that's usually, I would say zdravo is a bit more neutral. And then ciao would be for a friend, right?
Yes.
And then...
And we say in our podcast, like priятно at the end. So
priятно,
is that neutral or formal? How would you say?
That is more formal. So you can say, I use that mostly when I go to the store, actually, I have to say. So if we go to the store and then you want to say goodbye, priятно means pleasant or pleasantly, which means have a pleasant rest of the day or rest of the evening. So you can just say priятно. You can also say do viđenja.
Yes, I was going to say this. I like that sound, the viđenja sound. It's easier for me, so I use it a lot.
Yeah. So that's also quite common, so you wouldn't make a mistake. So in any formal situation, I think if I was I don't know, for example, in my professor's office and we have a meeting and then I want to say goodbye, that I would say do viđenja. I wouldn't say prijetno in this case, actually. So I think for more formal situations, I would always use do viđenja.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Great. And what else do you say? Like, what was say hi to your family or say hi to your husband, wife?
Okay, if you want to say hi to your family, you can say pozdravi tvoje.
Ah, that's good. Pozdravi tvoje.
Yes. Of course, you can say pozdravi tvoju porodicu, because porodica is family.
The family. Yes.
And it is in accusative, so porodicu for that reason. Yeah. And what else do you want to say? Pozdravi whom?
Your daughter.
Pozdravi tvoju ćerku.
Or just the name. If it's just the name, pozdravi Maki. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
In your case, it is pozdravi Maki, but in my case, it would be pozdravi Ivanu.
Oh.
Yes. So usually words that end in a, usually not all of them, they will switch to u. Or for example, if it's a male name, like Dragan, it will be pozdravi Dragana.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
For male names, ending and for females ending with normally. U. Okay.
Yes, but of course, there's even more rules. I think I had a video on that. So there's many more. There's also exceptions. But I wanted to say that. So this is because this is a how do you call it? It's not a directive, but it is imperative, right? So it's like if you want to tell to one person, it's always pozdravi. someone. Pozdravi Ivanu, pozdravi Ivana. That's a guy name, right?
Yes.
But if there's two people, like, I don't know, your friend's parents, then you need to use pozdravite. So pozdravite Maki. If I saw
see.
your parents,
Okay.
if they were Serbian, then I would say pozdravite Maki, for example.
Maki.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. And the word that I know, which I use at the end with friends mostly, čujemo se.
Čujemo se. So
And vidimo se.
And vidimo se. So čujemo se is we'll hear each other soon, and vidimo se we'll see each other soon.
Okay.
Let me think about if there's something else.
Do you say like take care of yourself? It's čujemo se to me, but I don't know how you feel.
I don't think I would say so. Maybe we do, but I'm thinking I would never say pazi se, like čuvaj se. Maybe you would say čuvaj se, take care of yourself, but I would never say that. I think it will be mostly like older people saying to younger people.
I see.
Or maybe if you're entering a new situation where everything is like new. For example, me going to Germany, it was like čuvaj se, like take care of yourself, like pay attention, because it's a. But usually there's you take life as there's not too much danger. Everything's good. Even though we complain, it's good. So, yeah. čuvaj se is, you can hear it, but I don't use it as often.
The most common thing I hear when people say goodbye to each other is vidimo se, I guess. At the end of the goodbye.
Yes. If you're about to see that person very soon, like in 1 or 2 hours, on the same day, then you can say vidimo se kasnije. So, but if it's like, I don't know, if you don't know when you're going to see each other, then just say vidimo se.
Kasnije is soon, right?
Kasnije means later.
Later. Okay.
Soon is uskoro.
Uskoro.
Vidimo
so can I say?
Uskoro.
Okay. We can say vidimo se uskoro.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, okay. Okay. Do you have some other questions regarding small talk? Has this been a lot for you?
That was quite a lot. Still learning about new ways of saying hi and goodbye. That's kind of overwhelming, but still I enjoy it.
Yes.
So I will write some of the most new ones for me as a note, and I will use them from today on.
And I think it will be also useful for our listeners to have it written somewhere. So I'm guessing like on Instagram, this is where they can find the phrases that we used, so that they can not only hear how it sounds, but also see how it's written.
That's important for the new learners, for sure.
Yes. And I never know if they want to learn how to write both scripts. So I usually use the Latin script, but I could see that most people are interested in the Cyrillic script. So the reason why I avoid the Cyrillic script, not because it's not important, I think it's really important, but I think as a beginner learner of Serbian, I feel like it's just quite a lot. But some people are, like
some people like the challenge.
Yes, exactly. So we'll make an effort, or I'll make an effort to write it down in both scripts so that you can have every version.
Okay, great.
Good. So you've learned something. I've also learned something.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I hope you guys have learned something. I hope you liked the episode and that it is useful to you. In our next episode, we're going to talk about one movie that I love the most, a Serbian movie called Lajanje na zvezde, Barking at the Stars. It's a translation. And I love this movie. It's a pretty old movie. It's not like made 5 years ago. But it's just fun and full of hope, and I don't know, it's just such a fun movie to watch. I'm really curious what you're gonna say.
Yes, I also read a couple of comments on it. Everybody loved this movie, actually. So my expectations are high, and I'm excited to talk about it in our next episode.
Yes. I don't know how much Serbian context you need for that, but I hope it's going to be universally interesting for everyone. So stay tuned for next episode, which is on the movie Lanjina's Zvezde. If you want to comment along, then you should also watch it. You can find some subtitles in Serbian, so you can also understand what they're saying. Actually, subtitles in English or Serbian.
Yes.
Depends on which
Both,
level.
both possible.
Yeah, depends on which level you are. So yeah, see you in the next episode.
Okay. Zdravo.
Zdravo or pozdrav.
Prijatno. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our podcast and learned something new.
In case you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, make sure to share them on our Instagram page, Može Kafa Podcast. Prijatno!